Hello, I'm Susan from Worldpeacefull, and I felt to read one of my philosophical poems. This one is about justice. So it's called Bunjil is the Messenger of Higher Justice. We live in a world of unfinished business, for thinking can compartmentalize into boxes. A chi-square theorem, investigating whether normal distributions vary. To discover values are the goodness of fit test, summing the differences observed, as consistency is the sine wave of good governance. When we are stuck on an intractable problem, we sit and reflect on the solution. We do not apply the same equation as it is zero sum. To continue hoping the outcome will change is folly. Why not retest the hypothesis to reform the real framing of questions? In question time, are the questions designed to discover the answer or provide an interval to meet the minister's need? Elected backbenchers have no rights to ask their own questions. They are not pre-selected to have an equal say. Is this representative democracy of the people? Hierarchy is the platform of elevation, yet many desire to abseil down to reveal the truth, to make human rights visible when stonewalled. Why is it an offence to speak up without notice? The Australian Constitution gives restitution to the freedom of political communication. Is this a lived system of representative and responsible government? The separations of powers doctrine cites the separation of legislative, that is Parliament, executive, bureaucracy, and judicial powers. That's the separation of powers. To restrain the potential harm of unchecked power, to negate undue political influence, so that there is no unnatural confluence of interests. Justitia, or Lady Justice, stands tall in New York Harbour. The Roman goddess of justice, she waits still. She is still waiting, outside of courts of final appeal, for justice to be done, not to be seen to be. Thus, to be or not to be is the real question. She is symbolically blindfolded and free. She holds the scales of fairness in balanced decision-making. She holds the sword of truth, not as an aggressive stance, but as a reminder to stand with courage. She stands with prudentia, foresight. She embodies the ability to discipline, to govern oneself with reason. She is a personification of virtue inspiring, wisdom, insight, and true knowledge. She holds the mirror and the snake. She is looking for beauty in wisdom's natural justice, to judge appropriately between virtuous or vicious action, courageous or cowardly intent. She does not require the arbiter of man-made law. Prudence is the mother of all virtues, to see the cause, measure, and form of all virtues, to have the intelligence and free will to make perfect the right decisions. For temperance is not holding back one's temper. It is to rebalance one's decisions in hindsight and foresight. To realize without prudence, bravery becomes foolhardiness, mercy sinks into weakness, and temperance into fanaticism. For these are the three blind horsemen. For it is the duty of care for those who know to tell the blind horseman on a blind horse that he is heading towards the abyss. That's by Lao Tzu. For as night follows day, one cannot bear false witness to the truth. Governance determines the truth of a starred chambers, to enforce fairness or silent privilege, to stand with prudence deciding clear judgments. The other uses privilege to mask abuse. The philosophy of poetry asks all questions in time without notice. May you look up to see the bunjil as the real sign, the actual creator of all living and natural things, giving guidance to me in fearsome times and doubt. For this is our place, and higher perspectives do not reside in hierarchy. The message is to see clearly without bias. Natural law is universal, not compliant. It is my duty of care to speak up for prudence and justice. For to love is not a crime, albeit all crime is the absence of love. For this is the highest virtue that inspires freedom of speech, and to finish all business without censure. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. This is what inspiration brings to me. And even in the situation of having disputes, they can be, in many respects, the friction points that elicit within all of us access to this higher knowledge and to really think through what is justice. In truth, justice is being just. It's the actual act of being just. And that has inherent within it the feeling of fairness. Hence the balancing of the scales. We make sure that both sides, balance. We're not having it like this or like this, because what this creates distraction from our true purpose. Once we're in harmony and balance, then we can really start to expand infinite possibilities and reach beyond the stars. But for the moment, we're still in the space of really coming to awareness of justice in the sense of balance, which creates social harmony. So thank you very much for listening. I wish you peace and justice and great love. Bye for now.